Mr. Hormann, honored guests, it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the future home of Hormann Flexon in the US. And I thank you for taking time from your busy schedules to celebrate this historic event for our company. You may not all be aware that Hormann Flexon, under various ownership, has been manufacturing industrial high-speed doors in the Pittsburgh area for over 30 years. And I am pleased to say that many of the employees with over 10 years and some with over 30 years of continuous service are with us today to celebrate. Hormann, which is privately owned and run by Mr. Christoph Hormann, with his brother Martin and father Thomas, is the largest manufacturer of residential and commercial doors in the world, employing over 6,000 people worldwide, and with 24 production facilities. Hormann purchased Flexon 5 years ago, and since then we have seen rapid and continuous growth, leading to the need for a new state-of-the-art production facility, which, when phase 3 is completed, will be over 220,000 square feet. I personally would like to thank our owners for putting their faith in us at Hormann Flexon, and also for this investment in manufacturing in the Pittsburgh and Southwest Pennsylvania area, which will add up to 35 jobs in the next 3 years. I am confident that we will continue to see high growth in our sales in the US and our exports to Mexico, Central and South America for what is 100% made in America. With that, I would like to ask Mr. Hormann to say a few words, and again, thank you very much for coming.
Members of the Hormann Flexon Dealer Council, honored guests, and last but not least, for me, the most important group of this event, dear employees of Hormann Flexon. I'm also very excited to welcome you today to the groundbreaking ceremony of our new high-performance door factory. Normally, I have a little bit more time, and I hope that all of you will come back in a couple of months when we have the inauguration of the new factory, and then I have maybe a little bit more than the 3 and maximum 5 minutes. Mark mentioned, and indeed he's right, our company has been very successful in the last 60 years to manufacture and sell our products, building elements in Europe, and also in the last 15 years in Asia. We haven't been too successful in the United States, but I think right now it's time to be successful in the United States. I strongly believe that this factory will help us to have this success in the United States, and it is also, for me, a very strong sign that we believe in the US market. It's also a strong sign for our competition that we are going to fight for this success, that we're going to fight for our market shares. And it's a strong sign for our dealers that we are not here just for a couple of years, but that we want to be here as a family business also in the next generations. And last but not least, it's also, I hope, very important and a strong sign for our employees that we take care and that we invest into our business. So finally, I hope that with the help of our employees, and of course especially with the help of our dealers, this day today is the start of the success story of the Hormann High Performance Stores in the United States of America. And let's hope that the groundbreaking ceremony for phase 2 and also then phase 3 will follow in a very short time. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite Governor Corbett to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Haley. Mr. Hormann, Senator Soloway, thank you for having me here. This is truly a treat, number one treat. I get to come home, which is really nice. You know, we're trying to send the message to the world that Pennsylvania is always ready to welcome new businesses, especially a new business with an old and valued trading partner like Germany. A little while ago, I was talking to Mr. Hormann and told him that I returned from a trip to Germany back in March, thinking a couple things. One, business over there is doing pretty well. We'd like them to come here. But two, that as I traveled into Germany from France, I felt like I was home. I understand why they're coming here to Pennsylvania and why so many Pennsylvanians have German ancestry. I think over 25% of Pennsylvanians claim some form of German ancestry. Well, I can certainly understand why, because it looks so much alike. One of the messages that I took away from my trip to Germany was they shared many of our characteristics of the people that we have here in Pennsylvania. Values such as hard work, excellence, and enterprise, and the belief that any obstacle can be overcome and the progress can be accomplished. It's probably why more than 39,000 Pennsylvanians work in 750 business locations owned by German companies here in Pennsylvania. So, Mr. Hormann, I understood that you weren't feeling like you did quite as well here in the United States. We're looking forward to you to doing that and helping you by starting this facility here. You see the excitement of the people here in front of me. See the line of cars going out the driveway. We were coming in, I thought I was going to Starlight. I remember them looking like that. This is the start of something. And it demonstrates quite a bit what is happening here in southwestern Pennsylvania. A lot of it has to do with the fact that we are telling the world, and we're telling the United States that we are open for business. From this industrial park, you're going to see businesses and office parks nearby. And you're going to understand that our state is open. Senator Soloway and I and Representative Jesse White were just talking a little bit ago about the cracker facility that hopefully we're going to see built here. About, Senator, what did you say, 10 miles? That's the crow flies? 10 miles from here. And I think we're well down the road to continue to get that located here. Not a done deal yet, we understand that. But if that is to be built there, the difference you will see in southwestern Pennsylvania in 10, 15, and 20 years, that we do bring manufacturing back not only to the United States, but particularly in Pennsylvania, and particularly here in southwestern Pennsylvania. We understand in my administration and in the legislature that Pennsylvania doesn't merely compete with other states. We compete with the world. If you look at our economy, we are the 18th largest economy in the world. If we were a nation, we would be competing, be viewed that way. The other nations would be coming here to trade with us and have trading partners with us. And that's exactly what we're working on. We're trying to attract as many manufacturers and jobs that they bring. I reminded the German companies that we met with when I was in Germany that if you're coming to the United States, Pennsylvania is the keystone state. And we have three advantages. We have location, location, location. That's number one. Because we're within 60% of the population of the United States in a long day's drive. Number two is the people that we have working here and the work ethic. And number three is that we have energy. And it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of electricity, it takes a lot of gas to run the various manufacturing corporations that will be coming here. And so I think that we've already seen some companies express interest. We're going to announce a deal with one company that we met with here pretty soon. And we're going to see some dividends to that one initial trade mission. And I will tell you, we're going to continue to reach out to other countries around the world to come to Pennsylvania. One of the reasons we made it better for them to come to Pennsylvania is we changed some of our laws. Recently, with the legislature and the work that they've been doing, we reformed our unemployment compensation system to be certain that the benefits are there without overburdening the employers, to allow them to want to bring jobs here. We're phasing out the capital stock and franchise tax, which only held back job expansion. And one of the most important measures that was changed with the legislation that came to me, and it's on my desk, is our formula for assessing corporate net income tax. Under the old system, a company's tax was calculated on three factors: the number of employees, its property ownership in the state, and the number of sales in Pennsylvania. Think about that. The number of employees. That wasn't a formula for growth. It was a formula for keeping the status quo or for decline. Why hire more workers if your company was going to raise your tax profile? So we've changed that. In the last session, we switched to a single unitary sales method. What you sell here determines what your tax exposure is. To me, that's fair and it makes sense. We have taken away any reasons for companies to say, we're not going to grow a business. And Mr. Hormann, I heard you say 35 more. I hope you double that. I'll be a little greedy there on behalf of the people of Southwestern Pennsylvania. The surest way to increase employment is to make it easier for employers to employ individuals. We didn't do this as a favor to business. We did it as an obligation to the citizens of Pennsylvania who deserve good paying jobs at Pennsylvania companies. We're prepared to do what it takes to make sure that the world knows, that Germany knows, that France knows, and Peru and Chile and China, that a plant in Pennsylvania is an investment in everyone's future. Thank you, and best of luck in this new building.
Thank you, Governor. I'd now like to invite Dan Wrights, Director of the Washington County Council on Economic Development.
Good morning. I wanted to give you just a brief history of Starepoint. My board acquired this land about 12 years ago. Actually, this land. This land was a few years later. And at the behest of the county commissioners. We've had very good support from all our county commissioners. Currently, we enjoy that with Larry Maggi, Harlan Schober, and Diana Irie Vaughn. We've also had a lot of help from State Senator Solovay and Representative White, and of course the governor. What you probably don't know, or maybe you do know this, this was all mine, strip mine, back in the 30s, 40s, and as late as the 80s. So it has its own special challenges. Currently in the park there are roughly 200 employees. The average wage for these employees is $17.47 an hour the last time we did a poll. And basically we love manufacturing, like Hormann and Fluxon, because it's a way to build wealth in this country, not only for the plant owner, but also for the employees. And to quote Sally Field, they liked us, they really liked us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Reeks. And now I'd like to introduce Mark Schneider, who is Managing Principal of Fourth River Development.
Well, we used to at these events, Bracken, former Commissioner Burns, would always stand up and say, it's a great day for Washington County. And since he's not here, I guess I have to say that. It's really a great day for entrepreneurs in Washington County. And it's all types of entrepreneurs, the public entrepreneurs. Governor, I want to say that you have some staff people at DCD, Scott Dunkelberger and Brian Eckert and Secretary Walker, who get it and have invested in this park and continue to invest not only in the infrastructure development, but also in some of the flex buildings. They've loaned both Fourth River and Washington County Council on Economic Development to provide space for lease here that has attracted new companies. It's a great day for public entrepreneurs like County Commissioner Maggi and Schober and Irie. They have believed in this park long before I showed up and really have invested not only with their political will, but with their dollars, both from the county coffers and from the local share account. Also the public entrepreneurs that exist in this township. I see Herb's here from the Board of Supervisors. They believed in this project. Not only have they supported each building and the development, but also have provided a tax abatement. The same with the school board, and also the county in terms of the abatement. So they have been great public entrepreneurs, and also now the sewer authority, which you also finance, Governor, which should open within 30 days. And everyone knows that was a long time coming and took some leadership by public entrepreneurs to say, let's get it done. Also the nonprofit entrepreneurs. Dick White, the chairman of the board of WCCD, who has been involved with this project from the beginning, and his board members, Linda Haven and Ray Vargo and Cynthia Zabrita, and I'm forgetting somebody. Who am I forgetting? Oh, Tony Lombardi, who's not here today. But those guys have really, as volunteer public entrepreneurs, have believed and made the right decision and invested not only their own money, but their time as volunteers. The private entrepreneurs, the Hormann family, for believing in both the local operation here and in terms of Pennsylvania. They could have put this plant anywhere in the U.S., and they chose to locate in Washington County in Hanover Township. We want to applaud them today. It's really their day. I want to also mention a couple other private entrepreneurs. Our team that is going to be building this. Andreas is here from Germany, who's the Hormann family architect. Rob Foffman from Foffman Associates, and Dynamic Construction, as well as some other consultants that you see listed up there. Finally, this all started by a private entrepreneur named Pat Morsetti, really going and working with the PRA and Eric Beatard, the PRA, and saying we can get this deal to happen in Western Pennsylvania and in Hanover Township in Starepoint. And Pat did an amazing job of working with the Hormann family and Mark Haley and Jacques, who is not here today, but started this effort. And really, by risking his time and effort, got the Hormann family what they needed, and they made the choice to expand here in Washington County. And also, I'll mention my partner Sally and John, Sally Flynn and John Watson, who not only are public entrepreneurs or private entrepreneurs in terms of this project, but we own 2 buildings down the street of which they're owners and have taken risks. And finally, the private entrepreneurs that located here first, I believe their choice got validated today by somebody who, again, could have put this plant anywhere, chose to put it here. And we now have 100 more acres that were open for business and are here to welcome more private entrepreneurs, and look forward to working with you all in the coming years. Thanks. See you.
Thank you, Mark. I'd now like to invite Senator Solobay to say a few words.
Thank you. Welcome, Governor. Glad to have you in Western PA. To the Hormann Flexon family, thank you for your commitment to locate here in Washington County in southwestern Pennsylvania. And to all my friends up on the dais, we have worked together, I think, as a partner for many years now to see that things that are going on to our left here with tractors moving dirt and trucks moving things around and cranes in the air all around Washington County, something that hasn't been over the past couple of years. I laugh and tell the story. I've collected more shovels and more scissors and ribbon cuttings and ground breakings. I could probably open up my own hardware store or business office store with the things that have been going on. And that's great, because there's a lot of folks that have been for many, many years, long before I got involved in politics and economic development ventures, that have worked and laid the groundwork to get us to where we are over these past few years. And obviously there's a lot of other things that have been very helpful to us in southwestern PA that have made us the destination site, I think, in the country. And to have companies making commitment such as what is being made here today, and other commitments have been made over the past few years, just have made a lot of our lives in government easy. And you know, it's unique. And believe it or not, the governor and I don't always see eye to eye on things. I'm sure you find that all hard to believe. But I know one thing that we have been in lockstep on, and Jesse involved with us at the same thing, has been economic development, making Pennsylvania a better place, not only for business to come here and to grow, but also for our families to stay here and in many cases come back to Washington County to make it their home and make this region, this area, an economic boom that has become. So along with everybody's accolades we've heard today, thank you, Hormann Flexon, for your commitment. Governor Corbett, thank you for what you've helped and continue to help on economic development. And you have our commitment of not only elected officials from the county level, local level, as you heard already, state and federal working together to continue this process so that we could have many, many more of these groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings as time goes on. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sullivan. I'd just like to acknowledge Jake Porlak, Regional Representative for Senator Robert Casey Jr., and Capel and King, Regional Field Representative for Senator Pat Toomey. I'd now like to invite Representative Jesse White to come up and say a few words.
Good morning. This morning, I really am pleased to be here and to see so many people here, because what we're doing today really is we're writing the next chapter in what is really starting to look like a best-selling novel that is Starepoint. I've seen in the past 6 years I've represented this area. I've been out here time and time again, and every time we come to ribbon cutting, we can't help wonder what's next. What's next? And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we know a good thing when we see it. Senator Solibai alluded to it. When you have this many levels of government and public-private entities involved, there are a lot of things that we always all agree on. And as the senator alluded to, we don't agree on a lot of things politically all the time. But we're smart enough, even for politicians, we're smart enough to realize when there's a good economic development opportunity that's going to create family-sustaining jobs in the region. And when those opportunities come around, we put everything aside and we work together. And this really is a great example of working together. And I think Dan, I don't think has got enough credit as kind of being the glue that's helped keep everything moving here in Starepoint. He's tireless, he's all over the place, advocating. And what he does is, and along with everybody from Fourth River, they make it easy to support what they do. They make it easy to say yes. And that really is, I think, one of the keys of the success we've seen here at Starepoint. It's one of the reasons we keep coming back, and as Tim alluded to, collecting more shovels and more scissors. This is a perfect example of how, with good, smart, targeted public investments, we can leverage a really, really good private sector return. It's a really good formula. It's bred success in the past. It's going to continue to do so in the future, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So thank you very much, and welcome to Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Representative White. I'd now like to invite Commissioner Markey. Go on.
Thank you. We'd like to welcome Mr. Hormann and Governor Corbett here to Washington County. Many years ago, when I was a state trooper and this was a game lands, we used to chase bad guys and poachers out here. And we've come a long ways now. We're making things, and we see trucks moving dirt, so that's exciting. And sometimes people think we're ground zero here for the oil and gas exploration. We also want to be ground zero for manufacturing and making things, and that's what's making people come here, international companies. So we're very proud to have the Hormann Flexon people here. Washington County is a great place. You're seeing that. As my colleagues in government has mentioned, the private sector and the government works together to make things happen. So we're excited. We hope to have many more days of success here. Great job, Dan.
And our final speaker is Commissioner Harlan Schroeder. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Now, as we look at Washington County, I can't use Bracken's slogan, but it is a great day in Southwest PA. See, I'll come up with something new. Because what's happening in Washington County is expanding with the cracker plant and everything else that's going around this area. We can be all proud to share and work together. Vision is out there. Vision is what we need for the future. What's happened here, someone had to have vision years ago starting this type of development. And as we see things expanding throughout the area, the vision for the future is very important. From a business community, people say, business, big business. Well, guess what, people? 35 jobs and maybe twice that many? That 35 families can say, this is business, this is our job, this is our future. So we all need to pull as a community together. And as a home builder for the last 14 years in construction, I think about garage doors. Okay. Garage doors are one of the most talked about issues when you're building a house for somebody. And how great is this that the new company that has garage doors as your product is opening phase 2 of this park. So I think you can look forward to more things to come. Let's all pull together and think, let's grow Southwest Pennsylvania. And thank you very much, and welcome everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. That concludes the speeches. What I'd now like to do is invite our honored guests, VIPs, if you can move to the back corner, and we'll do the ceremony of breaking the ground on Hermann Flexon's new home. Thank you.
Big show, is it?
Put it in first, huh? You guys ready? When you say, we'll toss. 3, 1, 2, 3. Need that again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I got that. On top 12. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We keep doing this, we'll have to
This time we save money.
All right, gang? Everybody happy?
Okay. Yes. All right.
Yes, we're happy.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay? Thank you very much. Very nice.